Hello everyone. Did you know that your context is determining your perception? If you have a limited context, you're going to have a limited perception. If you have an expanded context, you're going to have an expanded perception. Sounds very simplistic. But here's the thing. Albert Einstein said, you cannot resolve your problems with the same level of consciousness that you created it. And it seems that when we're going through challenging times, and when we're going through times of uncertainty, of the big I don't know what else to do, it's almost as if, or maybe it is, that life is inviting us to get out of that limited context and expand it, so that we can have an expanded perception and then get all of those creative ideas, all of those creative solutions that you're not even catching if you stay in that information shuffle that I talked about last week. So all of these videos are inspired by Reverend Michael Beckwith, as I took one of his classes the other weeks. And so since you weren't there, I want to share it with you. So he gave us an analogy of an egg trying to break out of the shell. The little chicken, the little chickie trying to break out of the shell. And when the chicken is ready to come out of the egg, the chicken doesn't stand there asking the universe, can you please give me a bigger egg? Can you please give me a bigger home to be? I don't know, this is just becoming so uncomfortable to be here. Instead of that, the chicken breaks out of the egg and goes into a different world, into a different perception, into a new version of itself. The same thing happens to a caterpillar coming out of the cocoon, a butterfly coming out of the cocoon. So they said that a caterpillar takes about 13 days to break out of the shell and become a butterfly. And there's a story, I'm not sure if I've shared it in videos, but it's always good to listen again if you have, of a man that looks at a caterpillar struggling for 6 or 7 days. And every day he'll go by it and he'll see a lot of activity in there, a lot of discomfort, and he felt so bad for this creature. And so he decided to bring some scissors one day and cut the shell, cut the cocoon. And guess what happened to what it was supposed to be, a butterfly? It died. It couldn't fly. And the reason is because through that process of breaking through the cocoon, or the chicken breaking through the shell of the egg, there's a transformation. There's a strengthening of our spiritual and emotional muscles. It's through going through that discomfort where we become stronger, and we can expand our context and expand our perception, get out of our level of consciousness that we were before and go and up level of our consciousness. And why am I speaking about this today? Well, first, I think it's a brilliant analogies, and I think it's really good information, but also to invite us all to expand our context. And that is why it's so important to dedicate time for self, to learn about ourselves, to learn about our souls, to learn about what's going on in our lives, to take a moment and check everything. Be curious about everything. Question your ways of being. Questions your way of interpreting situations. If you're going through a challenging situation, if you're going through moments of, I really don't know what's next, life is inviting you and inviting me, when that happens to me, to break out of the shell to a new perception, to a new context. And of course, a miracle says, and I've said it so many times, a miracle is a shift in perception. If you're trying to resolve that thing, if you're trying to get an idea, if you're trying to get to the next level of your own evolution, it cannot happen to what you're used to being. It requires that you get to a new way of seeing things, outside of the box, opening up your perception. So my invitation to you this week is to expand your context. How do you do this? There's many ways of doing this. Number one, meditation is one of the biggest, most profound ways to get out of our level of consciousness and to up-level ourselves. So as last week I said, to tap into the mind of possibilities, the mind of God, the mind of love. Another way is through reading. I know many people don't read that much, or sometimes I would listen to books getting new information. We're so bombarded with information that is so negative. Another way to expand your context is by getting help. Perhaps you hire a coach, you hire a spiritual counselor, you hire someone that can give you different perceptions, different context. Podcasting, empowering videos, well, you name it. There's so much information out there that allows us to expand our consciousness, becoming a member of a community that is talking about these new things, these new ways of living life and seeing life. I hope you resonate with this message. If you did, like this video, share it with the people that you think may benefit from this, and comment below. I always love to see your comments below the video. Have a good week.